Hello, my name is Neisha Hanley, and today I'm going to be presenting to you about community yoga in Baltimore and why it is an answer to trauma relief. Next slide. For a long time, I associated trauma or yoga with 70s hippies and this far out, like psychedelic movement until I actually visited yoga studios and one studio in particular, Michele Blu Yoga. I can tell you why yoga studios like Michele Blu Yoga have the capability to positively impact healing trauma in individuals and communities. Next slide. Mind body wellness. How we maintain physical and mental health is mind body wellness. And for many years, many thousands of years, as long as we can know, ancient civilizations have practiced the regulation of mind body balance. One of those practices was yoga, and this was particularly practiced in ancient Egypt, or as it was referred to back then, Kemet. Next slide. Community organizations providing yoga are necessary and offer a route to relieving individuals and communities of stress from trauma-based health issues. Next slide. First, I'll describe the issues caused by trauma-related stress on individuals and communities. Then I'll discuss some causes of trauma-related stress. Finally, I will convince you of the tremendous benefit that yoga has in relieving trauma-related stress. Why trauma-related health issues are problematic in Baltimore? Well, the U.S. Veterans Affairs reports that about 6 of every 10 men, or 60%, and 5 of every 10 women, or 50%, experience at least one trauma in their lives. You can go back to the last slide. In 2015, the Mayor's Office of Baltimore City categorized trauma as a priority risk factor for violence affecting youth. Next slide. Stresses on the individual. So there are trauma-related stresses on the individual. The National Library of Medicine names some of those stresses as loss of hope, limited expectations about life, fear that life will end abruptly, and some of these are the effects of trauma. So you can go back to I'll let you know when it's the next slide. So how does this impact communities? Trauma is a public health concern, and it can overwhelm public systems when individuals go untreated. Emotional and psychological trauma can be the result of various circumstances, including accidents, abuse, attacks, violence, and bodily harm. What are the causes? You can go to the next slide. Recent studies have illustrated that in urban neighborhoods with prevalent crime and gang activity, the prevalence of post-traumatic stress disorder is on par with that of military veterans. Next slide. Yoga leads to that same author, Romillo, also says that the traumatic effects of violence can impact community members not directly involved in violence. So what is the connection there? We undervalue the effect that trauma has on communities. We should compare it to the same effect that it has on veterans who have been in war or military surroundings. So what is the solution, and why am I telling you that yoga is the answer? Well, yoga leads to a significant reduction, over 30%, in symptoms of post-traumatic stress, including fewer intrusive thoughts and less dissociation from the body, according to the Omega Health Institute. You can go to the next slide. According to a Harvard Medical School report, gentle yoga as an add-on treatment to help reduce intrusive memories and emotional arousal and to produce calmer, steadier breathing. Deep, slow breathing is associated with calmer states because it helps activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Next slide. Michele Blu Yoga uses social media to encourage visitors to tap into their inner strength and discover the benefits of harmonizing movement and sound. Next slide. Yoga provides a sense of community for individuals to belong to and relate to one another and to take care of each other by showing concern for one another's well-being. Michele Blu advertises weekly community classes at an affordable price. She consistently posts clips of classes featuring a range of ages and backgrounds. The organization is also connected to schools, bringing communities in connection with educators and students. Next slide. I could go on forever about yoga and the benefits that it has on trauma, but I've shared more than enough for you to begin to understand why healing opportunities are provided by organizations like Michele Blu Yoga. Trauma is prevalent and it impacts healthy, functioning adults in our community, which trickles down to an overall community effect. Yoga has been shown to provide emotional and physical relief, and it improves our mind-body wellness. Community organizations providing yoga offer a route to relieving individuals and communities from stress caused by trauma-related health issues. The tragic circumstances in life are unavoidable, but yoga is one tool that we can use to prevent this as a public health issue. Research on this is still in the infancy stage, but it's well worth the effort to continue to observe how yoga studios help heal. And if you want to delve into your own practice or learn more about yoga, I would suggest you go to Utkatasana Power Yoga. You can visit www.micheleblu.yoga to find out more information. That is all I have for you. You now know why yoga is the answer.